Sit back and wonder what all this world has to offer. There are so many fantastic and nearly unbelievable places that can be found right here on planet Earth, and we feel like it's our duty to shed some light on some of those locations. Here, you'll find mountains that look genuinely out of this world, caves bigger than you can wrap your head around, naturally colored areas that look all but natural, and much more. Get ready, this is Unbelievable Places That Really Exist. 10. Tunnel of Love. This beautiful place is actually a tunnel through which a section of industrial railway passes near Klavon, Ukraine. The line runs from Klavon to Orziv and is, in total, about 6.4 kilometers long, with about 4.9 kilometers running through the forest, and the tunnel itself is roughly 3 to 4.9 kilometers in length, depending on how one counts it. It's called both the Tunnel of Love and the Green Mile Tunnel, and it's easy to understand why, with the overarching leafy branches that enclose it. The most popular times to visit are in the summer and spring when the leaves are at their fullest, but it's also quite popular in the fall when the leaves change colors, and in the winter when the snow makes for a winter wonderland scene. It's truly magical and has become a favorite place for lovebirds, young and old, to walk and enjoy some privacy. Man, we'd love to get ourselves out to the Ukraine to check out and walk this tunnel sometime. Wouldn't you? 9. Lake Hillier. Want to visit an excellent pink lake? Well, look no further than Middle Island, an island sitting not far off the southern coast of Western Australia. It is a saline lake that stretches to around 2,000 feet long and 820 feet wide that is surrounded by eucalyptus and paperbark trees. It's most notable for its pink color, which is thought to be caused by the presence of Dunniella salina, a microalgae, and is permanent. The watercolor doesn't even change when it's removed from the lake, so one could technically take home a glass or container of pink-colored water. The best way to visit, if you're thinking about doing so, is via helicopter, considering it's the only way to get there, but it would probably be worth the experience. I mean, how many times in your life are you going to be able to visit a naturally pink lake? Probably just the one. 8. Salar de Uyuni. This is the world's largest salt flat and is found in southwest Bolivia in the Daniel Campos province in Potosi. Sitting at an elevation of 11,995 feet near the crest of the Andes, it was created as a result of various transformations between several prehistoric lakes and is covered by several meters of salt crust and is extraordinarily flat. It's been found that the elevation of the surface only varies by a few feet over the entire salar, which is pretty unheard of given the size of the thing. Salar de Uyuni covers approximately 4,086 square miles, and it's estimated that nearly 50 to 70% of the world's lithium reserves are found here, and those reserves are currently in the process of being extracted. It is here where the altimeters of Earth's observational satellites are calibrated, given its immense size, the clear skies above, and the flatness of the thing. The Salar attracts tourists from all over the world, given the mirror-like look of the place is perfect for picture taking and for the nearby Uyuni train cemetery. 7. Mendenhall Glacier. This sweet glacier can be found in Mendenhall Valley in Alaska, and as of now, it measures 13.6 miles long. It's located only 12 miles from downtown Juneau, which makes it extremely accessible, and the glacier is protected as part of the 5,815-acre Mendenhall Glacier Recreation Area in the Tongass National Forest. But get there while you can, as the glacier is retreating and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. In the last 89 years since 1929, it has withdrawn 1.75 miles, and where it currently ends, it has a negative glacier mass balance. With climbing temperatures, the retreat of the glacier will probably continue indefinitely, although it could experience some short periods of advance or stabilization, as the warm airs could cause snow to fall near the head of the ice field, but that would only be temporary. Right now, the park receives roughly 500,000 visitors a year and has much to offer in the way of fun. Trails for hiking, Nugget Falls, and the ice caves located beneath it are just some of the awesome activities and attractions one can find here. So get there as soon as possible before the whole thing melts away into one cold giant pool. 6. Red Beach. Have you ever seen such a spectacular red beautiful place? If not, you better get headed overseas, as you'll find Red Beach in Dawa County, Panjin, Liaoning, China. The area, which is located in the biggest reed marsh and wetland in the world, is famous for its dense population of Sueda salsa, which is a red plant in the family Chenopodiaceae. There are only a few plant species in the world that can live in a highly alkaline soil, and the Sueda salsa is one of them. The growth cycle of the plant begins in April, and not long after that one will find light red colored plants. But as they mature, they turn a deeper, darker, more luscious red. Visiting is permitted beginning in May, but the most recommended times for visiting are between mid-September and mid-October, when the plants actually take on a purplish hue. More than 400 different kinds of wild animals and over 260 species of birds call the area home, and they're protected here as it's a state-level nature protection area and was promoted to such in 1988. Count us in. 5. Bonn, Germany. Every year since 1980, the streets of Bonn, Germany are literally transformed into a scene that could have been pulled straight from a fairy tale. Cherry trees begin to bloom amidst picturesque historic buildings and over cobblestone streets, making one feel as though they've left the real world and have been transformed to one full of life, color, and whimsical beauty. Ever since the cherry trees were planted along the streets, they've bloomed and drawn the attention of visitors from all over the world who come to revel in the majesty and unreality of the big, beautiful trees. Over time, the blooms begin to fall away and blanket the streets and sidewalks in what can only be described as the most beautiful dying off of delicate petals imaginable. They're located not far from the Museum Koenig and Beethoven's birthplace. So once you're done taking a walk through the magic tunnels and oohing and awing, you can head on over for some history and check out where the now legendary composer was brought into the world. 4. Hang Son Doong. This incredible cave is found not far from the Laos-Vietnam border and is the largest cave passage in the entire world when measured by volume. Inside, there's a super fast-flowing subterranean river and a cross-section that is larger than any other cave worldwide. It's believed to be twice the size of the next largest cave passage, Deer Cave in Malaysia, which is impressive. And it was formed from limestone sometime between 2 and 5 million years ago. It was initially found back in 1991 by a man named Ho Kan, but the sound of a roaring, rushing stream, the whistling of the wind through the passage, and the incredibly steep descent down into the depths of the cavern prevented locals from entering it. Then in 2009, a group of cavers from the British Cave Research Association brought the cave into the spotlight when they surveyed it from April 10th to the 14th. Their progress, however, was halted by what is now known as the Great Wall of Vietnam, a 200-foot-tall flowstone-coated wall found inside. The wall was traversed in 2010, and the group finally reached the end of the passage and found that, in its entirety, the giant cave is 3.1 miles long, 490 feet wide, and 660 feet tall. It's almost unreal, isn't it? 3. Antelope Canyon. So, you've more than likely seen images of this place in your lifetime, but you may not even know where. Well, pictures of the area make for a pretty popular screensaver, if that helps at all. Antelope Canyon, a super famous, super beautiful slot canyon found east of Page, Arizona in the American Southwest. It's located on Navajo land and encompasses two different, but both just as scenic, slot canyons. One that's known as the Crack, or Upper Antelope Canyon, and the other that goes by the Corkscrew, or Lower Antelope Canyon. It's been accessible by tours only since 1997, when the Navajo tribe made it a Navajo Tribal Park, and it serves as a great, sustainable source of tourism business for them. It was formed by flash floods and other subaerial processes, which cut into the Navajo sandstone and eroded the area away into what's left today. And it's still eroding, as rainwater, especially during the monsoon season, builds up in the basin above the canyon and then runs through the passageways in torrents, which cut slowly deeper into the canyon's walls and smooth them more and more every year. The rushing, flowing water gives the walls their signature flowing shapes that the area has come to be known for, and these flowing shapes have made it extremely popular with photographers and tourists alike. If you'd like to visit, you must go through a licensed tour operator, as visits are only allowed via tours, and it's not possible to visit the canyon independently. 2. Mount Roraima. At 9,220 feet, Mount Roraima is the highest Tepui plateau of the Pacaraima chain in South America. What's cool about this mountain is that its summit area, which spans 12 square miles, is bounded by 1,300-foot cliffs on all sides, and this was first described in 1595 by Sir Walter Raleigh, an English explorer. Roraima is also the meeting point of 3 different countries: Brazil, Guyana, and Venezuela, and it serves as the highest point in the Brazilian state of Roraima and the entire nation of Guyana. The overall highest point of the mountain is called Maverick Rock, which is also known as Maverick Stone, and that is found solely in the country of Venezuela. However, it is not the highest point in the country. It's very popular among rock climbers and adventurers from all around the globe, as the routes to the summit from Guyana and Brazil are incredibly technical and require considerable skill to navigate. But there is one way for us ordinary touristy folk, and that's taking the Paratapui route from Venezuela. But bring a raincoat, because it rains nearly every day at the summit. But that's okay, because it forms some of the highest and most beautiful waterfalls in the world. Someday. 1. Tianzi Mountain. Found very close to Shuaxi Valley in Zhangjiajie in the Hunan province in China, this unusual mountain was the inspiration behind the mountainscape in the movie Avatar by James Cameron. It received its name from the farmer Xiang Dakun, who led a group of local farmers in a successful riot and called himself Tianzi, which means Son of Heaven. The Sulamitos, a group that used to inhabit the outer regions of the Hunan province, consider the Tianzi Mountains sacred, and evidence of ancient burial rituals of the Mal Ogam people were found beneath the mountains in 2014. Those who climb the mountain will find themselves 4,140 feet above sea level, but there is also much to see beneath the various peaks, as the mountain covers an area of roughly 16,550 acres. There is also a cable car that takes visitors to the top over 2,084 meters, where riders can just sit back and enjoy the ridiculously beautiful and breathtaking views. Boy, some of those places really are a bit unbelievable. And it's pretty amazing that they exist right here on our very own planet. We sure hope you enjoyed the list. Did you find any of these places particularly inspiring? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget